What is up, everybody? Joe Everest, the fence expert, here in Salt Lake City for AFA's mid-year meeting. Now, since we were in the city, we couldn't help but coming to the Salt Palace, which is where we'll be home to Fencetech 2025. And along with us, Josh Rand, our local fence guide, our man about town sort of thing.
Yeah, I grew up south of here about a half an hour, so I got very familiar with Salt Lake, and it was a great town to have Fencetech in.
Yeah.
Lots to do here.
Well, so before we get into what's right around here, we took a drive in. So we're out at Park City. You're in Heber.
Yep.
And I tell you what, even coming into the city and driving around, one of the things that stuck out to me is kind of how well laid out and clean the city seems to be. And that could be just the areas we were going through, but it seems pretty well. It seems like a pretty nice place to be.
Yeah, there's not a lot of trash. There are homeless. You get that in every town, but it's a very clean city, relatively speaking. I mean, you'll get your areas and pockets, but right in town is very, very clean. And
the reason I say that, so we've been to Fencetech in the past, and I've been just to areas in the past where usually there's a little bit of a warning of don't really venture too far past this area, don't go over into that area. It seems like once everyone gets to the expo area, the hotels, the surrounding area, really, one, there's not too much need to go anywhere else, but two, even if you do wander over to the arena or over to the mall or really anywhere, there's not really anywhere that should be considered out of bounds.
Yeah, you can get a lot accomplished if you want to come here and do other things other than the event. There's a shopping center in town here, the Delta Center. They host Utah Jazz, and hockey goes on there in the wintertime. So there's plenty of events to do. The main event is here at the Salt Palace.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of shopping.
Well, and one thing I noticed, so the purple buildings are all hotels. And, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looks like Hyatt's attached, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 adjacent, dozen hotels within easy walking distance. And as you pan out, there's a handful more that you could stay at a little further away, a brisk walk over, maybe even an Uber. But I think the key takeaway here, guys, as you're watching this is no matter where you stay, one, there's a lot of options for staying, right? So we've been to other events where the hotels were kind of limited as to what was right around. The rest of them were a bit of a drive. I mean, you really have your choice. And so it looks like Hyatt's attached, Marriott's adjacent, you've got Golf Lake Plaza. So you've got some different properties here, different, brands here too, to where if you've got Marriott points, looks like there's at least 2 Marriotts. There's a Holiday Inn Express here. So it also looks like we've got different price points as well.
Yep. And then if you want to stay even a little further out of the main hub here, there is a track or train system called Tracks that you can get on. I believe it's free.
Yeah. We see it running these double black lines kind of everywhere.
Yeah, and this one drives right in front of the Salt Palace.
Yeah, so even if you wanted to venture a little bit further out, it looks like the train systems here, you don't really need to worry about having a car on site. You could if you wanted to, but it looks like it's a pretty easy Uber from the airport to this area.
You could also these hotels also service the airports.
Okay.
And so you could just get picked up from the airport. You wouldn't even need to rent a car, which is huge.
Yeah.
That's a great option. If you wanted to Uber, there's plenty available. We've taken Uber several times in town and around and to the airport and back to Heber, actually, where we're at.
Yeah.
That's an hour away, but they'll do it. And very, very easy to get around in town.
Well, and let's talk about a few things around. So you mentioned there's the expo, or we're at the expo center, but the Delta Center is right next door. As we get closer to the event, we ought to keep an eye on that and see if there's anything going on. We had talked about, in Nashville, there was a hockey game one night, and then there's a concert another one. So we might keep an eye on Delta Center's schedule and see if there's anything going on there.
There's also a Maverick Center that's comparable to the Delta Center. They'll host motorcycle events, monster truck rallies, public speaking type of stuff, and also basketball goes on there. And that's not too far out. An easy Uber over would get you to an event.
Perfect. Now, if we go just across the street from where we're at now, we're at the City Creek Center, which is mall. So think shopping mall with food, shopping, that sort of thing.
Yeah, outdoor mall. We can wander over there and. But Not so much inside. So during February it'll be cold.
Yeah, be a little chilly, yeah.
You might want to bundle up for that, but
Okay.
all the stores are still open. There's still a lot going on. Beautiful architecture there, and
Sure.
some great landscaping type of things going on. Water features. Yeah.
And one thing I noticed too is we were just walking around, so plenty to do. I mean, plenty of places to eat. We passed half a dozen restaurants just in this little area. Also entertainment, so if the bar scene's kind of your thing, handful of bars in the area.
Yep.
Everything really is right here. I want to emphasize that, guys, because I think it's important. Once you get yourself to one of the hotels, or if you want to stay at an Airbnb nearby, everything you need is right here. If you need to venture off, there is the rail line.
Yep. You can take the rail, go east. There's also a bus system that you can also pick up on, and Ubering works out really good.
Okay.
Food-wise, there's plenty of breweries, food. Squatters is one I'm thinking of. There's another fun piano bar that's a couple people play on the piano, and they'll just entertain the heck out of you. And if you don't laugh, you got an issue, but your gut will hurt if you go there.
And that's right here in the area.
It's here. It's within a couple blocks of us right now, but it's called the Piano Bar. I think it's. If you need more information on that, I can get it to you. But you can also look it up.
Now, obviously, Salt Lake City, February, we're thinking snow sports. So plenty to do as far as skiing. You had mentioned also maybe putting together a group if there's interest for sledding.
Yeah,
doing some sledding up in the snow.
Yeah, so Park City is world renowned for their awesome ski opportunity. You have probably 9 resorts right up the hill. You could Uber your way there.
Yeah.
The hotels probably have transit going up to the main ski hills.
Sure.
I've got a snowmobile. I'll get it out and dust it off if I need to.
Sure.
In Heber, we have several rental places. I would need to know a month or two in advance to reserve, but we could round up if a group wants to go out.
Sure.
We could certainly accommodate that.
Well, we got plenty of time, right? So, we do and we don't. I mean, here it is, July. It's going to be here before we know it.
Yeah.
February, right around the corner, because what I'm afraid of is it's going to sneak up on us because you got the holidays. You got Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then here you are, January. Next thing you know, the event's on us. Now's the time to start planning this, figuring out where you want to stay. Now, registration for Fencetech itself doesn't open up till October, but I've got to think that the registration at the hotels is already open. Now that saying, guys, keep an eye out. So I'll announce it when it's put out there. But one of the things that was talked about at the mid-year meeting is AFA is actually under contract with a handful of these hotels. So typically it's one hotel or 2 hotels. They had made a point of saying that there are quite a few. I think they're still working on the contracts on a couple, but a handful of hotels. So we're going to have a lot of options there as well. So guys, main thing is when you're here, everything you need is right here. There's everything from a Holiday Inn Express to a Hyatt Regency to a Marriott. There's all sorts of things here to do, or places to stay, plenty of things to do. We're going to keep an eye on the Delta Center schedule, see what's going on there. And plenty to eat, plenty to drink if that's your thing. And sounds like a lot of good times to go around.
Yeah, there's plenty to do. It's great city to have it in. I'm kind of glad it's close.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we'll walk around, get you a little B-roll, kind of what's looking like in the city. Now, keep in mind, when we're recording this, it's July. So come February, things outside might look a little bit different.
It'll be a dry cold, but it's cold.
Sure.
So.
Well, here's one point to make, though, also, is that Salt Lake City is built for winter.
Yeah.
Right. So last year in Nashville, a city that's not typically built for snowy weather, and they had it took them a little bit of time to clear roads and to clear sidewalks, that sort of thing. I've got to think Salt Lake City's built for that type of weather.
We've got big snow plows going up and down the main roads, and then the cities take over for their stuff. But the state does a great job of keeping traffic off, or snow off the highways, and then they get it cleared quick. So it's built for snow. You're right.
Very good. Guys, stay tuned for more videos to come where we talk about things to do in and around Salt Lake City. Of course, if you're interested in sledding, get a hold of our guy, Josh Rand here. You can leave a comment below and I'll forward it over to Josh or get a hold of Josh directly.
Yeah, we'll take care of you if you want to do that. If that's what you want to do, we'll make it happen.
All right. Josh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Guys, appreciate you watching. Joe Everest, the fence expert.
Josh Rand, Aloha Fence.
Reminding you that good fences
make good neighbors.
We'll see you next time.